Mic is muted. Welcome, everyone. I know we're live on YouTube already because the countdown and just finished. I missed the training because even though I was in a meeting, I had a lot going on. So I will have to get a special training with Dr. D a little bit. So bear with me today, please. So, and Dr. D, I thank you for being in. So maybe you'll be able to play signature tune and all those things until I come for my private lessons. Anyway, so welcome today. I know we were out for 2 weeks. Some of us are still still recovering from the time off. A lot of graduations and family gathering happened. So I hope you find you spend some quality time with family. And thanks for all being back here today. And hopefully we'll come back energized. So without wasting your time, and Yvonne, I see you in.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, welcome. And I think I have to send. Sorry, we are messing up this on YouTube. Dr. D, we have to send the presenter link to the presenter, correct? Energize.
Well,
Uh,
I don't think that's necessary. I only speak. I don't have any. I don't.
yeah,
The
no, I'm
presenter.
talking
You're
about
talking
Dr.
about Dr.
John.
John. Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
yeah, I'm talking about Dr. John. If he's going to share some slides, but
Yes, hopefully with.
before we just give you 1 second.
Sure, absolutely.
So maybe Dr. Okay, sorry guys, sorry. I'm just coming back after 2 weeks, so I am a little bit rattled.
Yes,
Maybe
just
before we go to that conversation, I see
yeah.
Dr. D is in the house. Thank you, Dr. D. Maybe today, I know for today, you can help us start with our signature tune, In It to Win It. Why that help all of us settle in. Over to you,
Okay.
Dr. D.
clear of the closing doors, please.
We are in it to win it. Thank you all. And I see our family members that have not been for a while have joined us today. If you realize we're using meetings, is it meeting now? And our king, Dr. Derek Clark, did a presentation on May 17th because we've been out for 2 weeks. I too have to do my homework. I've not done it. I was in a meeting, but wasn't attentive because I had an emergency at hand. Please, if you could just go to any of our channels, Deep Dive, Globally Changing Life, Gym with Dr. Patient, or Kanla, or any of the Gym Team Leaders channel. I think that those three, I'm definitely sure that that presentation is there. You go under live, look for May 17th, follow, just play quickly so we can get a hint on our new platform. Right. So thank you, Dr. Derek, for graciously and gifting us that this new platform. And we've used Zoom for a very long time. We got comfortable, but we have moved to a different platform. Life, the only constant in life is change, right? So a few of our Dream Team coordinators, leaders are out today. Remember, this is graduation season, high school, university, a lot of things, maybe marriages, a lot of people do things in the summer. So if you don't see them here today, like Queen Kanla, for example, has some family things that she has to do today. Without wasting time, I know we're waiting for a presenter not to hear me yapping. I don't know. That's why I don't like to moderate a yap nonsense. But I see our Queen, Sister Lerato Prosperity is in the house. If you heard that voice, she was the one. And if you want to hear more of her songs, I don't know whether she has another social media handle. I go to YouTube and I search for Lerato Shadare and I play her song sometimes, and it has been blessing for me. Yeah, sorry, I've never said it. Why not? Why can't we give shout out for our own sisters and brothers in the house? So if you are ready, Queen Sister Lerato Shadare, why don't you give us something to ask? Dr. Derek always say that our mind is very important, right? We have to take care of our mind because your mind is the most tricky thing in your body. I'm telling you, this mind can make you do nonsense. But the good thing is that the old book says God says giving us sound mind. So we have a lot of people here that give us word of wisdom, if I can call it that way. And we have one of our queen. Now she's paired of our better half. Queen Miriam and King Derek on Mondays, they really, really go deep dive in mindset. But we always deep dive, Global Changing Life, and Dream Team always start with the mindset because we think it's important. So with that yapping, I'll pass it over to Queen Sister Lerato Shadare. I think she's the one Prosperity doing today.
Hi, sis. How are you?
I'm doing okay, my sis.
You look so beautiful. I love the hairstyle.
I know, right?
Right? It's so pretty. It is so pretty.
You people get used to it.
Yeah.
You don't get used to it because anyway, now that you pass, maybe I'll try to get used to it.
It's really nice. It's really nice. It looks so pretty. So
Okay,
today,
alright.
Sister Yvonne is gonna take over because I just came in. You know, I had a long journey today, so my sister's gonna step in, and I'm looking forward to that. So, Sister Yvonne, please take over.
That's the
Big hug.
This is the beauty of Dream Team, right? It's my bad. I would have checked with my mindset leaders to always presenting, but see everybody.
That's okay. We should have told you what was happening. So it's all a big mix up.
No, I like something. I like the surprises. You know,
it's all good. It's all good. Welcome back, Sister Lerato. Glad you traveled safely. All right, hello everyone. And so let's get into this. So you know, it's a strange name again. I'm gonna call this one the sticker economy, but you will see what I mean as I go along with it. It's all the names we give ourselves. So we want to say greetings and thank our Heavenly Father for his faithfulness in protecting us and providing for us over the past weeks. And we are grateful that he's continued to do so. We're trusting that's the case. So the point I'm trying to make here is we live in a world obsessed with name tags. From the moment we are born, people start slapping stickers on us. And they say we're the smart one, or we're the athletic one, or we're the anxious one. the reliable one, all kinds of names. And after a while, we start to believe those stickers are who we actually are. But there is a massive difference between the name on your tag and the soul in your chest. Today, we are going to see if we can't peel off some of those stickers. Let's look at the prism of the box. Have you ever felt like people have you completely figured out, or so they think, but they're completely wrong? We live in an economy of naming and labeling, job titles, personality types, political boxes. The moment someone names you, they think that they own the narrative of you. They reduce your beautiful, multidimensional soul into a flat, one-dimensional sticker. And it feels suffocating. And why? Because we are born to be limitless. We are told that we are created in the image and likeness of our divine creator, we who believe, and yet we allow human beings, human words, to dictate our borders. We trade our debt for a title because titles are easier for people to market. But comfort is a terrible trade for your expansiveness, especially as we are supposed to be God, small God, and we are asking God to also enlarge our territory, which is the capacity to be, to do, and to have more. So that's the first segment. In segment 2, we are talking about the multi-dimensional architecture of who we really are. Let's talk about the math of the infinite. I was thinking about this restriction recently, like 2 days ago, when a friend sent me a list of over 100 different names for our God in the Christian tradition. He's provider, he's healer, he's comforter, he's the fortress, and I learned this new one, which I never heard before. He's the breaker, but that's another discussion. But he has so many names. He's everything and all to us. At first, it seems confusing, even contradictory. Why does an infinite God need 100+ different names? It's because the ancient writers knew a profound secret. They knew that no single word can hold the divine limitless one who wants to be all things to us. He wants to be our all in all. That's what it says. So think of God's essence as pure, blinding, white light. If we look directly at it, we are blinded. We can't see. So faith then gives us a prism, a lens in which to see who he is. Those 100+ names, they aren't boxes to trap or limit our God. They are the individual colors of the rainbow split into that prism. We see all 100+ names and a million more just to catch a glimpse of the limitlessness of our God. God is a verb. He's not a static noun. When God was asked for a name in scripture, the answer wasn't a title. It was simply, I am. I am that I am. Continuous, living, ever expanding. And when you look at the prism or the lens, you don't argue over whether the light is red or blue. You accept that it is both and everything in between simultaneously. Yet when it comes to ourselves, we demand a single color, a single tag, a single sticker. We demand a flat performance based instead of an authentic shifting reality. And in the segment 3, I said, let us deconstruct this labeling. Here is the truth for us today. We were made in the exact image of our Creator. If the Creator of the universe refuses to be trapped or to trap himself in just one name, why do we do it? Why do we do it? Why do we let the world do it for us? Or why do we do it to ourselves? He says that we are more than conquerors and we can do all things in him. So you're not just the quiet one or the divorced one or the corporate one or the stressed one. Like our Creator, we have 100 different names waiting to be lived. We are a masterpiece in motion. Think about the titles you've accepted out of fatigue. You just give up. They can call you whatever. We are often accepting those labels because they save us from the labor of explaining who we really are. It is easier to say I'm an administrator, or I'm a caregiver, or I'm just a mom, something like that, than to sit in the beautifully complex space of saying, I am currently observing, processing, evolving, expanding. But a label is a ceiling disguised as a floor. It gives you a place to stand, but it prevents you from growing taller. When you define yourself by your utility, by what you do for a system or a family or an organization, you reduce your soul to a transaction. You are not a transaction. You are an ecosystem. In section 4, I talked about the framework. The word poema, it's a Greek word. Consider the language used to describe your architecture. In Ephesians 2:10, it says, for we are God's handiwork. The original Greek word used for handiwork is poema. It's the root word for which we get the modern word poem or work of art. So we are God's poem. We're his work of art. Think about the nature of poetry. A policy document can be summarized in a line. A technical manual has one literal interpretation, but a poem cannot be defined by one word. A poem contains layers, subtext, rhythm, and shifts in tone and meaning. It means one thing in the morning or one thing to somebody else and another thing to somebody else. If you are a living poem, then why are you letting people read you like a grocery list? Why are you trying to make your life rhyme for people who don't appreciate the meter of your soul? You are allowed to have stanzas and that don't make sense to the casual reader. You're allowed to change the rhythm when the season shifts. And in segment 5, I ask us to step into our expanse. So today for the word, which is what I'm speaking on, my challenge to you is to drop the labels. Stop letting human words limit your spiritual expanse. Step out of the box and embrace the multidimensional self God created us to be. Because as the Apostle John reminds us in 1 John 3:2, it says, dear friends, now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. Think about that. Your final name hasn't even been written yet. You're an unwritten story, a limitless verb, an ever-expanding reflection of the divine. So let's stop living in one dimension and step in the fullness of who we really are. And I have a quick little acronym to finish. It's the word poem. P is to peel off the stickers. Refuse the flat, one-dimensional label the world hands you. The O, observe your expansiveness. Utilize the buffer. Don't perform to fit someone else's box. And the E, embrace the I am. Live as a continuous, ever-expanding verb, not a static noun. And the M, move in multidimension. Own your complexity as a living masterpiece. And do like what the Lord, Jabez asked the Lord to increase his capacity. And so you will become limitless in your names. You will be like the God, small God, as it says, small g, ever expanding, creative, and not being able to be labeled by one sticker. And so that's it for me. Thanks everyone for listening. Back to you. I think it's Sister Patience, because you said Sister Kanla is not here. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm not going to try to
I know.
That's what my sister says. But me, I'll sum it in my own word, the way I understand it.
Please do.
My understanding is that we should not let anybody define who we are.
Absolutely.
We should not box ourselves where society or community has boxed up with all these names.
Yep.
We know that our Almighty God is the one that the name he gives us as the most important names, right?
Exactly.
Sister Yvonne said the way, actually, I see my sister like write her names Lerato Prosperity. She's not letting anybody box her.
Exactly.
We're not going to stay in our past, in our pains. We're not going to do that. We're going to rise above it. And we're going to be positive. She gave an acronym, but all I was just thinking, you were speaking later, and I was just thinking, oh my goodness, do not restrict yourself, do not box yourself, do not limit yourself, because you can be anything.
That's right.
All books say you can do everything through Christ who strengthens you. Means you can be anything. You can wear multiple hats.
Exactly.
It's what you seek to do, or what you seek to be with God's help and God's grace. You will be it.
Yes.
Go back, please. Go to Deep Dive Global Changing Life. Go to Dream with Dr. Patient. Go to Queen Kanla's channel. I don't know which other one they put on. Sometimes replay Sister Yvonne, Sister Lerato Shadare, and everybody that does the mindset. Please go back sometimes and replay it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I catch myself trying to be my own self, but these meetings will continue. It's not because we're wasting time. We'll continue because if you want to grow, any way, whether it's your mindset, whether it's the way you approach life, this platform gives you that basis for you to take and apply to grow.
It does.
And the good thing is that we all in this platform recognize that we have a creator, the one and only.
Yes.
That we seek him first.
Yeah.
And he is going to help us through difficult times.
Absolutely.
So if you're going through a difficult time, don't take that name. They say, bring your anxiety and your burden to me. So do not take any name that is not your name and carry it. The mind is very powerful.
It is.
I've seen somebody that's going through grief. And the moment that she said into grief, I see her disappear in front of me. The word to say disappear, almost like, I don't know what you understand what I'm saying. And the moment you get her mind in a positive way, you see her appear. If anybody knows what I'm saying, like somebody just finished, like lost weight and so, and in the next hour or day, she looks.
Yes.
So our mind is very powerful.
It's
so
the
please
mind.
take this mindset properly and
exactly.
Do not be afraid.
It's funny that you say that about the mind, because in the Bible it says, and let this mind that is in Christ be in you as well, right? So if we can have that powerful mind of his, I'm not saying he suffered.
Yes.
He did. But he overcame because
nobody said that it's going to come with
easily. Right? Nobody said that without strife or struggling. Didn't say that. But you can do it. And that's, since you know that, then you strive for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Yvonne.
You're very welcome.
It's always short and powerful.
Yeah.
Please go back and play.
I can't do long.
And we're going through a season.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there. I don't want to be emotional today. It's been a long time that I have been in stuff. But you are not alone.
No.
We're not alone. So I know we didn't come to hear me yap. At least we're back to one of our topics that is there in our hearts as well.
Yes.
God say we should be lenders. You cannot lend without knowing how to manage finances or know what options to do or know how finances as evolve, even our banking system. Like that will go sometime for us that want to be in control. We think our banking system is our where to
supply and source.
Yeah, even though the old book says bring it to me and no more for it, but they said give to Caesar what is Caesar. So as long as we are putting inside a physical human control vessel, we have to at least know what we are doing. So without wasting time, I'm not going to try to introduce our next speaker today. I don't know where all the moderators today are, but they're all busy. They told me to be here. But if you know him, I think he has the same last name like me.
Yes, he does.
I know that has paid for Zoom for us for a very long time. And I said, thank you, Dr. John. Dr. D, for taking over that course and giving us meetings. So Dr. John can at least put some penny back into his pocket. Dr. D, we don't take it for granted as well, because Dr. D is paying for this. And without wasting time, I'm going to call on our next speaker, Dr. Ajongwen, which is going to give us his part 3 on the topic of banking and the evolution of banking. And for the old folks like us, we know when we had our passbooks to now, and now we're on digital. You can get your statement digitally, everything digitally. And that we have to go to stamp our books. We used to call it passbook. We bring it home, you sign it. the very, very old folks like my parents, banking was through what we call in Africa, jangi and meeting houses. They contribute and they give somebody to keep. And at the end of the year, they write it in a book. And at the end of the year, they say they're dividing the jangi. That's how they say it. I'm saying literally. They'll split the money according to how much you pay and what your interest is proportionally. But what that did was that during the year, as a member of that group, you can take a loan to do something, maybe pay school fees for your children, to do something. So the community was coming together to help each other. And the only trust is that you will repay the loan before the end of the year, means before the December 31st, for them to split the funds among the people that was in that group. So it has evolved. So over to you, Dr. John Ajongwen. The person I spent how many years of my life with? I'm not going to say it. Over to
you. Good one.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine, sir.
And can you see the screen?
Yes. Can as well.
Wow, that's the first part of the success, because I just came off a 3-minute tutorial from Dr. Derek. So I missed the beautiful training he did, and I haven't had a chance to look at it. So bear with me as I go through my first trial of meeting.
Okay.
Queen Yvonne, I just think that if we ended this presentation with what you just said, then it was really worth our while taking time to come together here.
Thank you, Dr. John. I appreciate that.
So I really want to thank you for always enlightening us, for always trying to show us how to actually focus on our mindset.
Yes, sir.
So thank you once more. Today, I am hoping that this will be a short presentation. And what we had talked about the last couple of weeks, or the last 2 sessions, we had just been looking at how our banking system has evolving, how it is evolving, and what we need to be thinking about. What really prompted me to start talking about this was when I was trying to get my kids to open an account, and the accounts that we had in our credit unions, they hated the accounts, they hated the credit unions, they hated this and everything. Nothing good came out of what we thought was our bank. And it's because the way that the younger generation are used to dealing with banks, the way they used to handling finances, and the way that we used to handle them ourselves, they are 2 separate approaches. So at some point, I just thought to myself that before some other person is going to be having frustrated time with their family or the younger generation, we need to just take a step and look at what is going on in our financial system. Secondly, we are all being exposed to evolving technologies, evolving systems, evolving financial tools, and many of us are just stuck in the old way, more out of fear and because we have been burnt in a lot of things. So I thought it would be good just to throw out and say, hey, based on my own limited research, this is what is going on, and maybe we as a family can start thinking about some of these other options. So during the last 2 sessions, we just talked about the traditional banking, the brick and mortar bank as we knew it, how it evolved to actually include things like online banking, which allowed us to be able to go into our banks, look at our statements, be able to see our balances and so on. Then it moved into the mobile banking section, where now the bank moved from you sitting on a laptop and accessing your accounts to actually moving it onto cell phones, including things like depositing checks, transferring accounts, and paying bills on the go using our mobile devices. And then we moved into the area of the digital-only banks. So those banks, the first 2 or 3 basically were like how to make our traditional banks more efficient for us. But then when you started coming with the neo banks, they basically, most of them basically have no buildings, they have no staff. It's almost 100% online, it's digital. And then from there, we moved to the crypto, which freaked a lot of people, and it continues to freak a lot of people because we're talking of a different language altogether. And it's almost coming back, I would say, not full circle, but now we're having what we call the fintechs, which are trying now to say, hey, how do we really marry or connect the traditional banks, the cryptos, the AI, and everything together. So today I'm just going to hopefully throw a few things about how some of these hybrid or the fintech banks are evolving and how they'll be shaping our lives going forward. If you think about it, as I said, the neobanks, examples of them, you can see these are not all. I just pulled this from some research. I don't even know most of them. I think I know 2. But you cannot find a physical building anywhere that hosts any of these banks. They're all digital-only banks. And what's been happening is that their focus primarily has been on customer experience. Their costs are typically lower, and literally you can go in and operate your accounts in real time. So you would see why, especially the younger generation, or what I call it the microwave generation, is super interested in this type of banks because they can go in and come out at any time. But as technology is evolving, we're beginning to have what I'll call technology companies, more so than real banks. But technology companies, or you start hearing a lot about fintechs or financial technology companies, which I would say they are broader than banks because they go beyond banking. They go into things like payments, investing, lending. Some of them may include insurances, and they actually tie things into the into the crypto platforms. So a lot of fintech companies are coming up these days, and as we'll discuss further, some of them are actually evolving so fast that they are almost decades ahead of the regulatory authorities. And so there is a bit of concern, a bit of confusion as to the legality or legitimacy of these banks and what they're trying to do. So with all of this now, the question is, which one do we work on? Do we stay with our banks? Do we look at the crypto side? How do we, especially of the older, or as my kids call it, the elderlies, start to figure out which one would be most appropriate for us now and in the future? So if you think about it, there is really a need for some sort of financial bridging to take place. And most people, when they think about the fintech or they think about the new economy, they tend to think about things like a crypto. And the crypto, like the Bitcoin, the Ethereums, the Binances, XRPs, whatever crypto you're used to, they reside primarily in some digital wallets or in digital platforms. And what a lot of these fintech companies that are coming up nowadays are trying to do is to say, hey, this crypto world is not coming to completely take over or eliminate the fiat world as we know it, but we can actually bridge them so that we coexist in both worlds and can function and transact across these two worlds seamlessly. So before I jump into that, I think we talked about this last time, but I just want to revisit it. And it's the idea of when we talk about platforms and wallets. So if you think about something like a MetaMask, for example, or Trust Wallet, those are examples of digital wallets. Those wallets, some of them are what we call soft wallets, like the ones I just mentioned, but there are also other types of wallets which are called cold wallets. The differences between these two types of wallets is that well, I would say one of the main differences is where the funds reside, or better still, where the what do you call it, those security phrases, where they reside. In some of these digital wallets, like your Trust wallets and MetaMask, think of it as your wallet that you have in your pocket. Your funds exist inside that wallet. For you to gain access to it, you need some either security phrases or passwords, and those tend to be stored in some sort of on the blockchain, in some sort of secure blockchain area. The cold wallets like Tangem, like Ledger, those ones, the security phrases are typically stored on chips in those devices. And so those ones, they are less susceptible to scamming and so on, even if, unless you personally go in there and you extract those keys from that wallet and share them with somebody. So those are the wallets. But then we have the platforms, places like Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, Binance. Those ones, they also have options for you to store your digital currency. And the digital currency, as you say, is the cryptocurrencies that we know. And those currencies, you can store them on those platforms. You have passwords and you have security phrases or two-factor authentication that will allow you to be able to get onto those platforms and access your assets. So when it comes to who actually has custody of those assets and who controls them, with your digital wallets, they tend to be called non-custodial because no other person has custody over them other than you. And the funds that are stored like on those platforms are the ones that are custodial assets, because that platform, you've basically given them custody of those funds to hold on your behalf. We know there are lots of cryptocurrencies out there, but when we start thinking about connecting the crypto world to the real world, there was what I call a missing link that was there but not being used by the financial industry, in the sense that if you have $100 in your account, you know it is $100. If you have 1 Bitcoin in your account, you know that Bitcoin could be $60,000 today, it could be 50 tomorrow, it could be 100 next month. So the volatility that crypto brought made it a bit difficult for people to actually be able to link their physical assets with the crypto. So that's where the idea of these stable coins came in. So when you talk about stable coins, at the moment we have 2 of them. There is the USDC coin and the USDT, which is the Theta. Those are typically what we call the stable coins. because these ones are literally linked to the US dollar, I'll say 1-to-1. The exchange rate can go from 0.99995, 99998 to 1.0002, but it typically, to all intents and purposes, is like 5 nines. And so you could think of it as being equivalent to $1. And because of the evolution and the adoption of stable coins, fintech organizations are now able to connect your crypto assets to your real assets, because if you have your crypto asset in these stable coins, you know that if you have 100 USDC today, tomorrow it will still be 100 USDC in that crypto platform, and in a year's time it will still be 100 USDC or $100 equivalent, because these coins are stable and they exchange with the dollar 1-to-1. As I mentioned, if you have Bitcoin or Ethereum, you can say how many Bitcoins they are, but you cannot tell how much in terms of your dollar equivalence it would be. So by adopting these stable coins, the fintech companies now are able to actually bridge the crypto world to our traditional banking, because now you can make an equivalent conversion today and tomorrow. And in order to do that, there have been a lot of systems or bridges that have actually attempted to drive this connection together. Some are just companies that are there to provide the infrastructure. For example, the company Circle, which really is the one that develops and maintains the USDC. There are others there. And then you have those neobanks that are the digital only, as I mentioned. There are those crypto gateways, which I was talking about: Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com, Kraken, Gemini, and others that are out there. Those gateways allow us to be able to convert our assets into crypto and vice versa. And then we have this other asset of RWAs, or real world assets, or blockchain platforms, which actually are enabling tokenization of assets, as well as help with all this digital asset exchange. So let me just pause here a bit and talk about the real world assets. We know now that the idea of, I tend to think of it as crowdfunding, in the sense that you used to get people who go and put in funds in order to either invest and build some company, and then everybody will have like a small share of that company. Now, in the real world asset arena, let's say somebody has some of the ones that are typically used out there now, say gold. You have, if you want to buy an ounce of gold, it's probably, I don't know whether it's $4,000 or whatever dollars. But what you have now is that the companies that have actually tokenized gold. So you can actually buy a gold token for 20 cents, which means instead of buying an ounce of gold, you're buying a micro ounce of gold. And those tokens now you can actually trade them and use them as assets to buy or to actually stake them or do other transactions with them, or just accumulate them. And at a certain point, you can exchange them for the real world asset. Or in some cases, you're getting some of these resorts like that are being built, and you may have a situation where people, instead of having investors that are putting in millions of dollars, you can actually buy, they can decide to tokenize the entire facility and have billions of tokens in there. And then you go in there, maybe each token is equivalent to 10 cents. you buy your own tokens, and those tokens, you can exchange them, you can transfer them, you can sell them, or at some point in time, if the facility is generating some income, you can actually go out there and you get an income equivalent to the amount of tokens you have. So right now, instead of just, again, we can say the same thing on something like what are calling a Bitcoin. We know that one Bitcoin at the moment costs almost $60,000 to $70,000. So if you even go in, you can buy a Bitcoin for as little as $5 or $4, and you get 0.0000 fraction of that Bitcoin. So the idea of tokenizing real world assets and digitizing some of these assets is something that exchanges are beginning to bring forward, so that people like us could actually get into some investments or into some opportunities that a normal one unit we could not afford. So right now, whether we know it or not, there are lots of companies that we're dealing with that are actually connecting people with both worlds. PayPal, Robinhood, Cash App, Coinbase, Aurum Foundation, Circle. Those are just some of the companies that when I was just trying to pull off from ChatGPT and say, listen, tell me some of the companies that are leading the connection of real world assets, traditional banking, and the crypto world. These came up as some of the examples. So if you go into some of these platforms, you'll see that a lot of them offer like Visa or MasterCards. Those MasterCards or Visa cards, you typically load them with some sort of crypto, preferably a stable coin like USDC or USDT. Now you take that card and you go to your regular shop, or you go to wherever you want to buy gas or whatever you want to do with your credit card. You pay with whatever currency that you are paying, and in the background, they would do the conversion into dollars, and then those dollars are equivalent to the number of USDT or USDC that they take out of your account. So by doing this, the company basically allows you to be able to generate crypto in one platform, use it for everyday payments without even realizing that you are using a crypto. Other companies are beginning to come up with other things like they're piloting things like a two-way ATMs, where basically, let's say I am here in the United States, I want to go to Europe. I don't have euros with me. I have USD cash. If one of those machines were available at my location and I had an account with them, I go to that machine, I deposit my US dollars, and then they generate a QR code that allows me to load the equivalence of USDC or USDT onto my card. I travel to Europe. Let's say I get to Germany. Now I need euro. I take my card or my phone, which has my crypto, generate a QR code, scan it on that machine, and tell it how much USDC or USDT I want to spend. And they give me euro equivalent to that amount of money. And I've done that exchange right there without having to start pulling that money to a crypto wallet, and then going to a bank, then pulling it out, going to some sort of travel agency to exchange that money. And if at the end of my journey or my trip, I have like euros that, I didn't know what I want to do with them because I come back to the US, they'll just be sitting there. I could literally go to one of those type of machines, deposit those funds, and then those get deposited into my crypto account, as a crypto, and I make my way back to the United States, and I have those stable coins in my wallet, and I can then choose to put it in one of those Visa cards, or I can leave it in my wallet and use it here as US dollars. So these companies are just trying to make sure that they help people to be able to transition from one currency to another, to be able to transition from crypto to fiat and back in a seamless manner. And so these are some of the things that few of these companies are coming up with, and they're trying to set up. So as our banking system evolves, all the days of going to a travel bureau, whatever bureau de change, to do to exchange currency because you're traveling, those are not going to be required anymore because of the work that the fintech companies are doing. Obviously, like with anything, they have their advantages and their risks. So we did talk about that extensively when we're talking about the crypto world and the risks associated with them. For example, fraud and cybersecurity issues. But then we also talked about the advantages of faster access, lower costs that this type of opportunities create for us. So when you look at how our banking is evolving, the big guys, even like, the Chases and the JP Morgans, they're beginning to get into into this sphere because that is how the direction of finance is moving. And you will see that just as our traditional banks moved from just being a brick and mortar where you came in and things were written in a ledger to where they had the online banking, the mobile banking, be expecting that in due course, especially with the adoption of the stable coins, there is going to be more of a shift towards this hybrid type of system. So that said, we know what is driving all of this extensively is also AI. And whether we love it or not, it's here to stay. It is only if we are able to harness the good parts of it. And I think the regulatory authorities are struggling not only to keep up with the developments within the fintech arena, but they're also struggling to make sure that we can actually understand what AI is able to do before it gets not out of hand, but before it leaves them too far behind. So for the future, I see more of a combination of the traditional banks, the fintech providers, and all those blockchain infrastructure working together. It's not just going to be fiat or crypto. It's going to be a blend of the two. And as a result, we expect that there's going to be a lot more tokenization, a lot of, if you go even into some of the places like Coinbase or Kraken, you can see that they're beginning to set up so you can actually buy stocks, you can trade in stocks. So you can do Forex trading. Some of those type of activities are things that are going to develop more and more. And these platforms are going, the differences between these platforms are going to sort of blur. And then central banks are catching up, obviously. And in the future, we may be seeing a lot more digital currencies like digital euro, digital yuan, and or euro, or even a digital pounds, as the central banks actually start catching up on, especially the stable coins, the tokenization. And then looking forward, not too far forward, we're going to be getting what we call, what some people are already calling embedded finance. So you're looking at a situation where you're not only having your bank where you go and you do your banking, but you have an integrated financial services organization that would handle the typical banking things like lending to things like insurance, as well as getting some of these apps which you can actually just go in there. They will do payments and they will connect with external third-party platforms where you can just do your trading. For example, think about what Amazon maybe is actually piloting, where you can go into a shop, literally pick what you want to pick and walk out, because as you're loading your cart, it's already adding how much your bill is, and as you walk out, you don't even have to go through a checkout to pay, because you're literally having an instant transaction as you're going through and picking the items that you want off the shelf. So when you start looking at some of these things, what is going to happen is that when it comes to the future of finance, you may actually have that payments, may actually, we know now that you can actually go in when you book like an Uber now, it's connected to your payment, to your credit card, and you're paying. Now you may get to a point that it's not only connected to a credit card, but it could get other types of currencies like the cryptos and so on. We have, again, banking, insurances, all those different tools now may start getting more and more embedded into apps through all these application programmable interfaces. And so we will get to a point where your entire banking is on a mobile device like this, and you carry it everywhere with you rather than have to go and remember your good old brick and mortar bank that used to provide you with all the things that you needed. Just to share how this evolution is going, there's an article that was posted by the CEO of Orum Foundation, which some of you may have seen it and some may be seeing it for the first time. Some may have missed it. But when I read this, and I read it twice, it really started talking about how AI, how all this, the future of finance through fintech, if we don't really start being aware of what is going on, by the time we get up tomorrow, we will not even realize that we have been left so far behind. So let me just go through and share what I did. I just put this like one of the towards the end slides here, and we can have a chat. So he said here that an AI agent just incorporated its own company and started trading crypto. No human involved. A few weeks ago, an AI agent, that's agent here is a bot, registered a US company, got its own EIN from the IRS, opened an FDIC insured bank account, and started trading across 30 cryptocurrencies autonomously, no human in the loop. You may think that this is stuff of science fiction, but this is news that is being reported on what has happened. Then he ran and said, I've been watching the space closely, and what stands out isn't the technical fit, it's the legal one. The entire architecture of the financial regulation assumes that a corporate entity at the end of the chain, someone to audit, someone to sanction, someone to call when something goes wrong. And this AI agent or the bot is called Manfred, has none of that. It has a wallet, yes, that's a digital wallet, a bank account, a tax ID, a trading strategy. And what it doesn't have is a legal personhood in any meaningful sense. So if we are actually not aware that some of these things have become reality, we may just be sitting there saying, I don't think so, I don't think so. But he continues and said, AWS, that's Amazon Web Services, is already running agent core payments with Coinbase and Stripe. Stripe is one of the largest third-party payment platforms, I think, in the world almost. And they say USDC settlements. Remember, these are stable coins, so at least you know how many US dollars you're getting on these platforms, Base and Solana, agent to agent, no human authorization at each step. And then just under a month ago, there was a tech conference in Miami called Consensus Miami, where about 1,000 developers, they built payment applications in a single weekend. And right now, these AI agents, that is no human being involved, is already sitting on about a 15 billion market cap. And so why am I saying this? Is because he said this is moving faster than any regulatory framework I've seen across 20 plus countries. The institutions that will win the next decade are not the ones building the best AI. They are the ones who figure out the governance, the compliance, risk management for the systems that don't wait for approval before acting. The race is right now. So why is this important? It's important for us to realize that just like everything that is changing in the world, the way that our good old banking system has been managed, or the financial institutions have been operating, is changing really fast. And you can see that the regulatory framework is actually lagging behind them. So we need to be aware of these changes. We need to look at those ones that we think we can leverage and get involved in, because by the time that we even wait for some of them to go through the standard regulatory approvals, it will be maybe 3-4 years down the road. So what I just wanted to share here were a couple of key things. And as I said, I want to keep this brief. The future of the financial ecosystem will be built by organizations that are able to connect traditional banking, real-world assets, and the blockchain, rather than just operating exclusively in one world or the other. So crypto on its own is not going to be the solution. I think, unlike what a few people were thinking a couple of years ago, that the development of crypto means the death of the fiat economy. No, that's not going to happen, not anytime soon. We are still going to operate with both worlds, and companies that are able and have that technology to be able to connect the traditional banking, the real world assets. The US government is, for example, is really struggling on how to classify tokenized assets, whether tokenized gold is a stock, is a real asset like gold, or is a crypto. They're still trying to figure out for themselves. But while they're still debating, the market is going ahead and people are making a lot of money with those assets. So banking is evolving, that we know. Fintech is breaching. That is something we need to be aware of. And crypto, especially with the stable coin, the adoption of the stable coins, is expanding the opportunities and the possibilities. So what I am just trying to share, and I want us to know and start to embrace, is that these three things are true. and sticking in one may not be a very, very smart idea in the long run. It is time that we start actually learning about what is going on in these areas. We start being comfortable with we know that just with anything, the learning curve always comes with its own risks, but we can always get into some of this at the level that we are comfortable with and start having those baby steps, learn, because if we stay where we are much longer, we will not be able to communicate or talk finances with our kids when it comes to how they are handling their money in the next decade or half a decade. That's what I thought I just bring so we can talk about and just share with you. It was interesting when I went through and I was trying to read and find out about this, but since we are blessed to have this platform to educate each other, I thought the tiny bit I learned, I also try to come and share it with the family. So with that, I know I've confused everyone. Now,
wow.
Where I am.
That what?
No, I just said I just stopped and I didn't know how to get out of the screen.
It's okay. This, wow. If you're in any of the WhatsApp groups that you found the Dream Team members, I've shared the YouTube link. I'm not going to try to summarize anything.
So
that's why I have shared the link.
Yes, thank you.
So people can go back and listen.
Mm.
Normally, hey, should I be truthful like normal? God have mercy. Anyway, I'm in a safe space. I don't care whether we're live on YouTube. I tend not to really pay attention to presenters. But there was just a lot going on that I just blew, and then I went on YouTube just to make sure our YouTubes were all going on. I never follow social media. It might be a good thing or it may be a bad thing. But today in church, I'm like, maybe I should have just gone in there so I should be able to have my children. We know from the different, from baby bloomer to Gen, they call it generation X, Z, Y, Z, that alpha, different thing came, right? From maybe from the Facebook to the Instagram to the TikToks to the Snapchat, and a lot of things happened around that time. And when they were sharing, this is not the topic. Well, I know we're talking about finances, but I will link back to why I'm bringing this. When they were sharing how young people have lost their life from all these different generations and how social media changed, I was like, okay, I did not want to be out there, but maybe I should have just gone to social media, maybe to help our young kids because we don't understand. I'm going to link it. Remember, there was something called cyberbullying. I'm like, what's that? It did not make sense. How can you just sit there and bully me through a device, right? So please, let's not. I'm saying to myself as well. Let's not be in the position that we will not be able to talk about our finances because we have been left behind.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about crypto, or not pretend that I know. And I used to tell one of my brothers that I call that thing cry currency. They start with the word cry in the front of it. But it's getting more and more powerful if you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, you'll find yourself in trouble. You know how to use it, you'll be okay. As I said, this was a loaded session. A lot of things. As I said, I'm not trying to summarize it. Yes, one of the words was fierce tech, fierce bank, traditional banking, crypto, hybrid. There was a lot. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open for questions. So Dr. B, if you're in the house, can you take over and let's see whether anybody has any question, and Queen Yvonne, if there's anything in the chat, and let's just address it. As I said, I cannot summarize this. It's big. It's big for me. There's a lot of new terminology. There's a lot of new information. There's a lot of new ways that we don't know. And we're wondering how young people now are having financial freedom. And we're here just sitting with the traditional way to our 9 to 5. They give our paycheck through our, at least it went. Remember they used to give our pay storm, our check in the hand, we're going to deposit in the bag, and they went to direct deposit. Come on now, things have been in that way. Things have been changing, right? They used to give you that. Oh, from some places they used to count cash. I've been where that you go, they look at this, count your cash and give it your hand.
Yeah,
that's the evolution, right? And we want to stay in that comfort that we know.
Sure.
We left there, and then they used to give us cut our check. They used to say cut check. They'll cut your check, your paycheck. You go and deposit in the bank to cash it.
Yeah.
Then now they say, oh, direct deposit. And the first time I did a direct deposit, they say, oh, you have to bring a void check. I'm like, void check? What does that mean? You put your information, you deposit, they write void, they'll take the system. Anyway, I came to learn that they just take your sorting code, take your stuff, take your information, your banking address. That's your address. So we realized that everything has an address. This my computer now that there has an address. They call it IP. So things are changing.
Absolutely.
This my device has a unique address to it, so somebody can find it. Let's not be the one that will be behind with banking. I told you I opened an online banking account and I didn't know. So I went physically to the bank. They said they cannot save me because my account is online. So things are changing. So I'll open it to questions. As I said, there's a lot of information. Thank you, Dr. John, for the presentation today. Thank you for doing the research and putting it together for us. Thank you, Yvonne, for the mindset. That mindset said we should not stay in one hole. So now, with that mindset, you see how things link in Dream Team? You can take that mindset and say, okay, I have to learn.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Mama Eddie today. Maybe she's somewhere.
Yeah.
That is my inspirator. Mama Eddie is learning all this things. I think she's ahead of me with all this technology. Okay, so she's not giving up. She's not using age as a barrier to learn.
Yeah.
Let's all learn so we're not left behind with what is happening. So I'm going to open it for question. Queen, Dr. First Lady of Dream Team, are you there?
Yes. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Sometimes they say, can you hear me or you can't see me?
And we can hear you and we cannot see you.
First of all, I want to thank each and everyone. Before I proceed, I want to take this moment to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing each and everyone here this afternoon, evening, or morning. It all depends upon on our location, wherever you guys are. There is no one like our Heavenly Father. You guys do understand that you have some people, enemies out there, but when you put your trust into the Lord, nothing will happen to you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I know I wasn't there, Queen Yvonne, when you were presenting, but I know that it was amazing.
Thank you, my queen. Thank you.
Our King, Dr. John. We all know that you know your stuff.
He does.
But I know that I have to come back to you because I need to put my children into Orum or whatever they call it. Orum. Hey, you guys know that there is business out there. I know that I'm not supposed to be talking about business right now, but anyway, his presentation is financial, right?
Yes,
so I just want to ask each and everyone, if you have any question, could you please raise your hands, or you can write the question on the chat and then I'll read it to him, please. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. John, for your presentation.
Yes, it's a lot to digest, but at least, we are supposed to make the effort. Otherwise, as we've been hearing forever, we will get left behind. And that's not a joke, because when the last slide that you showed there, that showed what Manfred did. I'm sorry. I'm still digesting that. Because I always was under the impression that the word that lots of people were aiming for with AI in general was to make it sentient, making it self agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems as if we're there, but I can't digest that. It's just too fast. You mean the technology, but it has to come from a system. There was no prompt, no ask. It just got up one morning and did this.
Did it? Self-learning. That's I mean, the beauty. There's really a lot of goodness that can come out of AI, and there's also a lot of disruption that can come out of. I mean, like anything else in life, if we use it well. You know, when I saw this article initially, I remember just about 20 years ago, when, or more than that, when we're still in the UK, and I was traveling between the UK and the US. I remember very well that we got into a Boeing 777, and when we landed Newark in New Jersey here, the pilot sort of welcomed us to the United States and said, for those of you who've never experienced one, you just flew an automated flight from London to New York.
Oh, my. So he's telling you,
and so I mean, we're already on the ground, right? So
yes,
and there were people that panicked in the plane. They were like, and the guy said, yeah, don't worry, we're sitting here just watching, but we just left the computers do their thing. So I mean, can you imagine that? If he had told us that,
yes,
when we were taking off, people would have opened the door and jumped out, right?
They jumped out. Oh, they would have.
I would not have gone in the plane.
Right, but he waited until we'd done it, and then he told us. And then when you turn around and you look at it again, and I remember this is the bad side of it, depending on what side of the fence you're sitting. But
right.
the first Iraqi war.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we're sitting I was in the UK, and we're watching cruise missiles going down the streets and going around corners, and then going into buildings, like actually going through a window. And I'm sitting there thinking,
oh God,
the person that they just programmed this thing from 5,000 miles away, and it is flying along the streets between buildings, and doing those type of things. And then you say that. Now I was talking to we're talking to a CEO of a solar power company, and he said the United States, and I mean every country, that the grid system is really old, and so they are beginning to install new grid which is self-healing. And I'm like, what do you mean by self-healing? So it's supposed to be able to detect issues early enough, and if possible, fix it, or flag out that somebody needs to go do something. So with the AI, it's beginning to learn and learn and learn, and you put in a few parameters, and then it becomes self-learning to a point where if you get like this Manfred thingy, might have just been doing a lot of research and trying to figure out, and said, okay, I've probably written 1 billion business plans to people. I know how people go about setting these things. So let me just apply.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was always the intention though, Dr. John, but I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't.
Who knows? And so now, okay, is that a good thing? In a way, people who now, like this CEO who has actually been monitoring the system, it could allow people now to jump onto those type of platforms and literally do what you call, like, what's this again? That copy trade using that AI. So you get like more predictable results. The thing is going to be learning and improving as time goes on. And so the regulators now are scratching their heads. and trying to figure out how do we actually get these people to, how do we get these companies to actually do what the regulation states at the moment, because it's a catch-up game.
But my question, Dr. John, is how do you put Manfred back in his box?
His box now is basically a lead trader. It's done. I mean, the only way that they can do it is for the government to shut down the business and say that business. But then that's the problem. That's why this guy was writing that it is not the technological feed which is the problem. It is the legal one, because
of course.
Who are you gonna sue?
Yes, and that was
an IP address.
No, exactly. That was always the issue. But it's going to get even more serious than that, because there's another article or a case in point that I think that in the medical industry where it says that the technology changed the recommended medicine. That's not funny. I mean, if you think the system, if you think the system is bad, the financial system, or something else that's not life-threatening, not yet. But who would think that could happen? They changed the recommendation for the medicine.
So that's where we are now, and the main thing is we need to
what can we do?
I know.
What can we do? I mean, especially us on the ground here, not the people who are, because somebody's behind all of this. I know that the machine doesn't just sit there one day or whatever it is and say, you're talking about the government and regulation. So that means there is, if you work back up the chain, there's got to be someone to grab by the neck. I'm sorry. There's got to be. AI is a thing. So far as I know, it is not a living thing.
Yes, you're right, Yvonne. So
of course, there's always somebody.
You program it, maybe use another, since you're smart somebody.
Yeah.
Use another program that your IP cannot be traced to.
Exactly. It's like what they used to say.
Trace to your residence, right?
Yeah.
So who did they get?
Those detective novels always said, follow the money. Well, follow the
This has been going on even in the field of the medical field, right?
Yeah.
My dad just had surgery and it was robotic. Yes, the doctor was there, but it was robotic.
Yeah.
Because the robot is more precise.
Yeah. But the robot should not change the medicine, however. The doctor knows.
No. I'm just saying that technology is really evolving.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
been already in other fields. It's just going to the banking sector as well.
Yeah, we can call it that. I prefer Dr. John's word, disruptive. But but I guess it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. And I'm not against the technology. You know that. That's not the point. The point is that the regulations are lagging way behind and always has been. Always has been. Because human beings do not like balance. And we don't like to be metered and measured. We just love to, like, everything is our sandbox. Like we're playing. It's not a game. I'm just glad that God is still on his throne. I'm a believer. We're not going to be allowed to destroy this whole thing we have going on here. We will have some rough times. I know that, because that's what human beings always do. We overarchingly go to the one extreme or the next. That is how we operate. It's historicity. It's historicity. That's how we operate. We never, ever learn. And yet it says people who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. But we just totally ignore that caveat, and we run right down into things, and we don't see all the consequences, because we are not God. We do not know the beginning, the end from the beginning. We don't know it. So we should be cautious. But who's listening? Who is listening? Not when you have money to be made. Because money is our God in this earth.
Yep.
There you go. That's my sermon for the day.
Amen.
Amen, church.
Yes, Dr. Nicholas. Oh, Lord. Well, all right.
I think
that was a great presentation.
The old book says what? My people died because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah, I know.
This is knowledge we're trying to impact ourselves so we don't get.
Yeah, so we don't don't become crushed under all of this weight.
Yeah, so lost on the weight.
So, Dr. John, you have lots of training to do. Sorry.
Catch me if you can.
Who knows that movie?
Who knows that movie?
Based on the true story, young guy.
I know. He was the first of one of his kind. Yeah, he was just too smart for himself. But now he's a good guy. They employed him now. He's working for a big nail or a big nail or whatever.
and helping them, right? So
yeah. I like how that story ended, but because you have to know the rules before you can break the rules. That's what they said. So in his case, that was certainly good. Queen Benny, I don't see anything on the chat. What do you have?
Nothing. It seems as if everybody approved of his presentation. They love it.
Yeah,
because if they didn't, they would.
Everybody's trying to. For me, I'm trying to understand it, so I don't have questions.
Well, I'm going to go back.
Go ahead.
Way down to. Okay, so Dr. Patience, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
No. If you have something to say.
No. I was saying recently I have been just low tech and my regular, ordinary brick and mortar bank. So at the beginning of this year, each time I went online to do any transaction, it would pop up that it gave me a warning and some time that I need to go into the bank to update my account. And I'm thinking, why? Nothing has changed. I didn't move. I didn't do anything. So anyways, I had occasion a couple of weeks ago, I was already on the street. So I popped into the bank and I said, okay, my bank has been telling me to upgrade before August. This person at the counter knew no reason. They ran through all kind of checks and balances, looking at this, looking at that. Why would I get that message? But then I came home and I checked with the technology online, and it said the bank is trying to upgrade their system to more technology. And so it's a blanket thing that they send out, and they refuse to tell you that it's not necessary for you. So they make you waste your time, and you was coming to the bank. Nothing needed to be changed, not the single thing. So, but that's low tech compared to what Dr. John is talking about.
Yeah, I got that, but I saw by the time my bank started doing that, I just said that we're going to be changing our system. Things will look, your interface, will look different.
Yeah. But nothing. I handed over my card. He looked at it. He checked this. He talked about that. He said, I don't even see the message here. So he said they might have just removed the message without even just telling you that it wasn't necessary after all, because your time is not valuable, I guess. So. But as I said, that's low tech, not a big deal. It's not like I had crypto to be changed to euro, to be changed back to USD or anything like that, as Dr. John is talking about, which I would not be doing. But it's very interesting to learn this stuff. I love learning it. I don't know if I'll ever use any of it, but it's good. Thanks, Dr. John. And thank you, Dr. Patience. And it's good to see you, Dr. Benny.
Good to see you as well. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to see each and everyone, even though I'm not seeing their faces because, hey, it is not a must for them to show their face.
Well, all right.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry. So if there's no more question or anything in the chat, I think the best we can do, I'll get Queen Yvonne to give us as short as possible take-home message, and then Dr. John give us his take-home messages. And we will resume again to come next week. But before I bring our presenters to give us a take-home message, please do not forget to join our sisters platform. We have Queen Miriam, Mindset Monday. I don't know that I'll call it Queen Miriam now. I'll say Queen Miriam, and I better have Dr. D. I don't know. Anyway, that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. They join Deep Dive Globally Changing Life on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And our duos are taking a break. They are examining how they want to go forward. When they resume, we'll know and we'll share with you. Yes. I think our sisters across the globe have started, right? And
it's not consecutive. Like they generally announce it in the chat.
Okay, so just keep an eye on that. When the week that they're on, they are on Thursday. The Thursday.
It's 9.
It's Thursday 9 a.m. typically if they're on. It's in daylight time. For Dream Team, we took some break, and Dream Team has decided that after like 5 years of straight no break, nothing, if we have family, because the coordinators are working hard, if there's a major thing that most of our leaders will be out, or if there's a government holidays, we are going to be taking that time out to spend some time with family. So if you don't see us show up, that's a decision we've done internally and want to share with our family. That we'll be doing that occasionally. If you realize we have been out for 2 weeks, and that was the reason. We had graduations, wedding, Memorial Day weekend, some birthdays was among our activities. Shout out to Queen Yvonne, shout out to Queen Dr. P, that's myself. Our birthday was this May. If there's anybody that has a May birthday, we'll say happy birthday. And for the June people that have just started, we'll say happy birthday. And sorry, things have changed. Normally we'll put my nice way we celebrate birthday. We still love you. We still celebrate you guys. So if we are off, we'll let you know that we're off. Is because we've decided that after working hard, there's a saying that all work without play make Jack or Jill a dull person. So we've decided to be doing that. And we just had the 2 weeks for that purpose. Graduations, weddings, birthdays. There was national holidays, Memorial Day for the US, bank holiday for the rest of the world. So we decided to take those days off. So we will be here, God willing, next Sunday, 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Over to you, Queen Yvonne. Give us to take off message, and then Dr. John, then we will close.
Thank you, Dr. Patience. So I want to say, when we reduce an individual to a title, we limit their potential, obviously, their creativity and their humanity. So it's time for us to look past the labels we assign to one another, because when you are looking at a person sitting next to you, regardless of where they come from or what they do, you are looking at a miracle of cosmic history and proportion. At least science calls it that, but we know that we are created beings by the God. Here is a cosmic fact that to ponder from a scientific lens. Every single atom in your body, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, and the carbon of your DNA was forged inside the hearts of dying stars. That's what it says to them, billions of years ago. But we know that this comes from God. When those stars exploded, they scattered that matter across the dark void, which became the earth, and that is what we are created from. So it's not a mystery. We know that it's God's breath that we are breathing. Again, scientists choose to ignore that we are divinely created, but we choose to believe that we are, and that we are not just a person living inside the universe. We are a literal piece of that universe. We're created from the earth and has been designed to look back, to ask questions, and to marvel at the miracle of it all, marvel at it. So isn't it time to stop playing small, as Marianne Williamson said? Stop playing small in the boxes built by others. Step into our limitlessness and let those around us do the same. And that's what I'd like to leave us with today. Everyone is limitless. Thank you.
We are limitless.
Limitless.
Your limit is your mindset.
Absolutely.
Your limit is your mindset. Your limit is your ideas. Your limit is your audacity. Your limit is your risk level. We are unlimited. It's only us. It's only you that can limit yourself. Thank you, Queen. Over to you, Dr. John.
Yes, thank you, Queen Yvonne. Thank you for that last phrase. We are basically limitless, and it's only us who choose to put that glass ceiling over ourselves. Everybody on this platform has been on a journey to some sort of financial improvement. There have been hiccups. There have been there have been derailments, there have been bombs on the way, whatever you want to call it. One of the things that I tend to just tell people is that, as a joke, I said, when you're driving along the road and you see a fatal accident, you can say a prayer for those involved, but you don't park your car alongside that and say, that's it, I've just seen a fatality, I'm stuck on the side of the road, I'm not going home. Right. And so even if in our journeys, if we come across all those type of things, just piggybacking on what our queen said, let's not get frozen. Let's not limit ourselves with our mindsets. One of the reasons why I sort of, as I said, wanted to explore what's out there is to see, is there anything else that I've done, I can do? And more importantly, I learned a good lesson along the way, that sometimes we take uninformed risks and then we lose big time. But if we are opportuned to actually get some informed knowledge, then it reduces the risks that we take and gives us the opportunity. Yes, we may have gone 2 steps backwards, but it will give us the chance to be able to go 3 steps forward. So my prayer and my hope in sharing some of the stuff that we've tried to share today and in the last 2 sessions has not been to sort of try and throw stuff down your throats, but to let you know there are opportunities. The world is changing. We know the only constant that we have in life is change. Otherwise, we would have remained toddlers forever or kids. But the fact that we change every day that we wake up means we have to change our mindset. We have to be able to dust off or fall forward and be able to wake up. And yes, I deliberately kept this particular presentation at a generalistic point of view. And I know when Queen Benny came, she mentioned a particular program that she said she was not supposed to talk about it. I am not ashamed of talking about it because I think it's something that could benefit everybody. And if you want to know, find out, unfortunately, our brother Michael is not around today, but we do run webinars to talk about that. And I would say, get yourself educated, make sure that you have information, and then you make informed decisions in your lives. Because if you are able to make informed decisions in your lives, we can all become limitless. Thank you all for taking this opportunity to listen. And I just pray that we all stay safe and enjoy the week that starts maybe this evening or whatever time it is for you. Thank you once more for giving me the opportunity to be able to share with you. Over to you, Queen Dr. Pat.
Thank you all. Thank you, our great presenter. Thank you, my family. In life, we're in life to win. The old book says what? My plan for you is to prosper you. It did not say prosperity will come on a platter with no challenges. It just means that with the right mindset, when you're going through the rocky path of life, that mindset will make you realize you are chosen for prosperity. So you all have a great weekend. Endeavor to join our sisters platform for your mind. As Dr. Derry said, the mind is made of 2 parts, physical and mental. So work on the mental. The mental looks like it's very strong to drive the physical. So please join the sister platform. I've given you the time. And if you have the flyer today, the YouTube links are there. Go and listen again if you have to do that. With all that said, I will borrow from my sister. Dr. Ben has already said, thank the Almighty God to be here. I'll borrow from my other sister Lerato. That's it. If anybody does not say we love you, the dream team family, we love you.
Can I jump in and say something? You just made me remember. Please take this along with you if you're struggling. I had a wise guy say that when you're going through hell, don't stop.
I love that. That's
so
true.
if you think what you're going through now in your life is hell, the one thing you don't want to do is don't stop.
I love it.
All right. I love you all.
Because there's a third man in the fire with you.
Amen.
Like that. I love you all, guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a good rest of the
day. Dr. D, did I just X out when I want to end the meeting? I know Dr. D is busy on Sundays. Queen Yvonne, is that what I do? I just X out.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. You just click the big
everybody
X
out independent. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Queen Benny. Love you.
Okay. Look at Sena Pomeri. Yeah. Hi. Okay, let's go. Bye-bye. Okay, good.